Hello and welcome to the Global Racing League as we enter our fifth round of racing in our casual tier championship as we head to San Marino, located just 40 kilometres of Bologna for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Following last few trips from Monza, which was topped by the Red Bull of Rahman, who took both the sprint, the Grand Prix, and a fastest lap point, could mean that there is a new challenger in this year's championship fight, but only time will tell. The Imola circuit was mainly being known for its ridiculously long name, however, also because it is one of the only anti-clockwise tracks on the calendar, which also has a 4.9 kilometres race distance as well as 19 corners, 10 to the left and 9 to the right, however only containing one DRS zone, which meaning that track position is essential on this track. And I am Spray. Unfortunately, I'm not joined by anyone today, but this is the Emilia-Romagna qualifying session here in the casual tier. While I have the opportunity, I will just quickly go through the championship standings. As of the minute, it is still Wicked Vicky leading the way on 68 points, and it is Rahman coming in second due to his huge amount of points following that race in Monza. I've Whiffle, who has been out for 2 weeks now, Sat in 4th place with Scarito coming in 3rd, which also has Stricken in the other Red Bull sat in a pretty comfortable 5th place, followed by Chartman and Harsh in 6th and 7th. Then on to the constructors. It does have Red Bull at the top on 96 points, followed by Alpine on 84. However, the Alpine team does not have both of their drivers today. It is just Wicked Vicky. Alfa Romeo sit 3rd with Ivor Whittle mainly leading the way. Williams in 4th with AlphaTauri sat in a very close 5th. Aston Martin on 35 points in 6th. Haas on 27. Mercedes sat in 8th place with Ferrari in 9th, and dead last will be McLaren. However, Johnny Shutt did pick up some points for the McLaren team from last week. So the first car we're going to quickly just get on board. Let's just get all the telemetry. Who's going to come on the line first? Looks like an Alfa Romeo? No, it is going to be a Ferrari of May, who is at the... No, it's not going to be May. It's going to be... No, it is going to be May. Let's just follow the Ferrari through the first sector. 25-1 on the medium tyre, just obviously going for that bank up. The Mercedes just off the track, just letting him go by. Coming up now into the very quick and tight left-hander of Piratella. Now into the 3 corners of Acqua Minerali. This is corners 10, 11, 12 and 13. Now up to Varianta Alta. He has got Mercedes in his way, who didn't really see that he was coming, however did just get out of the way and in time. Coming out of Alta now into the final 2 corners, which are known as Ravazza. It is a double left-hander to finish off the flying lap. Is going to touch the inside curb once and twice, going to keep it in 3rd gear. May the banker lap on the mediums, but the provisional pole time of the qualifying session so far is going to be a 1:17.3 for the Ferrari. Stricken, who was on a lap, has invalidated. Daligbot, who was reserving tonight in the Ferrari, is going to come up to our 2nd sector liner. He is obviously going to be purple due to him being on the softer compound of tyre. Spandon comes in with a 1:32, so obviously he's had a mistake or a spin on his first flying lap of the session. Daligbot into Ravazza. Just going to keep it in 4th. He's not going to be pushing too hard, and he is invalidated on that right side corner. BX Pro is coming up now into Varianta Alta, once again reserving in the AlphaTauri. Coming up to Ravazza. It's awkward to get the lap hooked up because there are a lot of elevation changes, so knowing when to find your braking points and when to properly accelerate can be a big issue, but hopefully due to the new handling models on the game, it should be a bit easier for the drivers to manage. Well, BX Pro across the line goes 2nd fastest, made provisional pole time, still holding strong. The championship defender has not really got his season underway yet. Could this be an opportunity to start it? And no, it will not. Rahman a 15.8 on the medium. Let's have a look. Who else is on a flying? I mean, Mosquito popping his car into 2nd fastest. I feel like a 15.8 is quite a good lap time. My experience on this track has been short and sweet. I don't think I've actually got any points here before. I haven't really done much practice on it either, so my knowledge of the track is little to none, to say the least. So I'm expecting a pole time to be in the 1:14s, which I think that will be a straight shootout between Vicky and Rahman. Those two at the top have been close all season. Unfortunately, it has been, or fortunately, in terms of the Alpine view, but it has been Vicky who has been just getting ahead of the Red Bull, especially in Bahrain, which saw Vicky win the Grand Prix by just a 1/10 of a second ahead of the Alpine. Chartman across the line, 8th fastest for the Aston Martin, who are currently at, I believe it was 4th in the Constructors. Scarito has invalidated his lap time. Let's go on board with the full flying lap of the Alpine. First corner is Tamburello. This is corners 2, 3 and 4. Obviously the long straight does count as a corner. It was Purbazar who joined mid qualifying. Into 4th gear, for the Alpine, up to Villeneuve and up to Tozer. Purple, sector 1, left-hander, going to keep it in third and ride that traction all the way along that bank up. Now into corner 9, known as Piratella. Is going to drop it quickly into 5th, back on the power. Follows down the hill out into Minerali. It's going to be a quick right-hander. He's going to touch the curb. Drop it into 4th gear. You could probably go a bit more power than that, but Vicky's just going to try and get this banker lap over, and Doe now come up into outer. Once again, Purple through the middle sector. Has gone a bit too much over that curve on the entry of Varianta outer, but O'Hara did get a pretty solid exit. Did miss the apex by a little bit, though. He's going to hold it in 7th gear. Drops it into 3rd, into corner 18, now into 19 of the exit of Ravazza, and he's almost invalidated. Rear wing open for the Alpine for the first time during this hot lap, and it's going to be a 15.9 for the Alpine. Rahman still on pole. I believe Rahman's lap was done on mediums also. I want to say they were done on mediums, and that is a spin of both the Williams and the Alfa Romeo. That is a peculiar, I didn't really see what happened, but both their cars seems to be intact. Scarito on his flying lap, almost loses the rear end into turn 12, but he is purple through the middle sector. I'm not sure if that is just the game lying to me, or if it's actually a genuine purple sector. Let's just see in about 10 seconds time. We're going to see if that purple sector is legitimate. Scarito just smashing that car into the corners, seeing if it will stick, and it's definitely not going to be a provisional pole time. It's going to be a 17.2 for the AlphaTauri. All the times very split at the minute. Mercedes sitting strong in 4th and 5th. That is a very solid result as for them so far. Who is on a flying lap, which is going to be Degley Mosquito, rear wing open for the Mercedes. Corners, for the main amount of corners in this circuit are chicanes. Also, you've got the Tamburello, you've got Villeneuve, and you've got Varianta Outer, so it's awkward to make sure you hit every apex. Even if drivers like Rahman and Vicky are the quickest around the circuit, it's going to be who can hook up the lap the best. Because even if you have the pace, if you mess up one of the chicanes, it could really knock your lap off through the first sector. 2/10 down on his previous time is Spandon. Now on the exit of Tozer, oh there we go, back onto Rahman, oh no, just Spandon, sorry. Now down into Piratella. Purple goes pole, or provisional pole, the 15.6 for the Alfa Romeo. Did not see that one coming. Spandon into, oh he's 5/10 down here, I think. Not a lot of points. Rickard, who was 2/10 down his previous time, has invalidated his lap. Degley Mosquito, who is going to get a little bit of help from the Williams, who is not going to block his racing line. Never mind, no he's not. Degley Mosquito going to go for the slipstream to help benefit his lap time. A 10.5 improvement for the Mercedes. May is not on a push lap. BX has missed his apex, but he's going to carry a lot more speed around that corner. That could maybe help him out a little bit. Now coming up to Piratella, 5th gear for the AlphaTauri. I would advise 6, but as I said, my knowledge of the circuit isn't actually that great. BX Pro climbs the hill and he's lost it on his rear end. He's hit the wall. It doesn't look like there's any damage on the AlphaTauri, but that is a spin and a miss for the AlphaTauri, who is still in this qualifying session with 7 minutes to go. Traction is awkward to get with his elevation changes, and we have just seen it. So I do keep muting. I've got ridiculous popping for some reason at the minute. Rahman is 6/10 quicker? I'm not sure if I've read that correctly, but I think Rahman is 6/10 an improvement on his previous lap. He's currently sat in second place behind the Alfa Romeo of Bazar. Let's see what the Red Bull can do over the line. Can he go back to back for pole positions? Yes, he can. He's into the 114s. There's a 14.9 and provisional pole to the Red Bull. Pratham finds himself in P2. That's a very good outing from the Williams, who had his debut last week, but I believe he crashed out early. I want to believe he did, but I'm not 100% sure. Stricken having a tough time just looking these laps up. Is another invalidation for the Red Bull. Track penalties are going to be a bit of an awkward one for the drivers today. Chartman is not on a flying lap. Alfa Romeo is, but he is out of battery, so Spandon is out of fuel, and I think that's going to be it for the time being. So it's probably just 5 minutes of qualifying left to go. It is Rahman on provisional pole. Wicked Vicky, leader of the championship, who is currently sat into 5th place. And oh, there's a 5-place grid penalty, and what has happened here? I think May must have spun, and then Pratham's running to the back of him accidentally. That is unfortunate for the Williams, currently sat in 2nd place. Not 100% what happened, but that is purely my assumption. The Ferrari may have just spun on the racing line and may have not ghosted, as May, I see, doesn't have a front wing. That is purely what I believe. There's a lot of yellow flags, so I can't actually see what the sector times are. I'm not sure what the Williams is doing. I believe they must be out of fuel. That does not look like a healthy Williams there. Only 2 more corners to go, luckily, just to get back into the pit lane and prepare for their final flying lap. But I do believe that is unfortunate for Pratham, if my assumptions are correct. Yep, into the pit lane. 4 minutes of qualifying left to go. I don't see many drivers going out and doing a lap, apart from Danik Bot, who is on a flying lap, and he's going to have clean air for the entirety of this flying lap, and he is invalidated. I think he's just going to head into the pit lane. Chartman is on his flying lap. He's currently sat in P13. He's going to have to do a bit better than that to try and get some points this weekend. He's currently sat, I believe, 4th in the drivers' standing. 4th gear through Tamburello. Exit, nice and lovely, pushing the curb all the way to the line. I like to see that. Inside of 6, inside of... Oh, that's a lovely corner from Chartman. That has been a superb first sector from the Aston. Ascario has retired, I believe, in the pit lane. Piratella, sorry, for the Aston. He is running low on his fuel now, but that car is going to feel very light. And this is hooking up to be a pretty neat lap from Chartman here. Could have probably kept it in 4th gear and got a bit more power from those rear tyres. 2nd sector line, he is 6/10 up on his previous lap time. He's going to have a pretty impressive final sector to be further up the top, but at his current pace it is a neat and it is a tidy lap. He's going to have to find a little bit more from it though. Brakes a little bit early there in my opinion, could have pushed the limits a bit more, but handles turn 18 perfectly, now coming up to the 19, which is just the straight. Charmer across the line, 10th place. And I believe that will be his qualifying over unless he can save up his battery. Parvazar is the next car about to do their final flying lap. The Alfa Romeo, who is the teammate of Ivy Whiffle. He's Parvazar, not really in the championship fight, but I think has some sort of pace and potential to maybe find himself a bit further. He's got a bit of traffic coming up ahead of him, so hopefully they will see the Alfa Romeo pushing. And there we go, that's a beautifully managed Tamburello now coming up into Villeneuve. Left-hander, right-hander, pushing the limits of Parvazar, and he's invalidated. He was 4/10 improvement. I mean, Parvazar has got some real pace here, currently sat in 3rd. huge potential for the Alfa Romeo. I'm going to keep on board with him. The other Alfa Romeo in Sociopath, who was reserving for the absent Ivy Whipple. Not pushing as much as his teammate through the first 3 or 4 corners, but still doing an admirable job to keep that car on the road and still finding some lap time. Purple sector for the Alfa Romeo, who's 2 tenths up. I mean, that first sector, Parmesan must have smashed the competition. Into Piratella now. Sociopath holding that corner. Lovely. There is a Aston Martin ahead of him, who needs to get out of the way. And Chapman, very smart, just trying to avoid any sort of collision. Was very close though. He's going to overtake the Ferrari of either May or Danik Bot. 3.5 tenths up. Sociopath. He's going to have to find a little bit more time, but he's like a wobble on the exit of outer. A few more corners to go. Mercedes shouldn't be in his way. What's it going to be for the Alfa Romeo? He's going to have to find a bit more time. And he's going to get a lovely slipstream all the way to the finish line. Sociopath is going to be a very solid lap with a 15.7 for the Alfa. 5th place. Pratham, who is 3 tenths up on his previous lap time. Let's have a look at Rahman. He's not completing his first sector as of yet. Purvisar, 3 tenths up on his previous time. Let's have a look at Pratham. He is going to be the first of the front runners to finish their qualifying session. Pratham, final corner. Is it going to be improvement onto provisional pole? He does have that grid penalty coming his way, but for the Williams, will it be his first pole? Yes, it is a 14.93 for the Williams, and Roman has invalidated all onto Purvisar now, and I believe he has lost that 3.5 tenths he made in sector 1. It's not been a solid sector for the Alfa Romeo. He's going to have to find a little bit more lap time here. He's going to get a little bit of a toe coming out of Ravazza. Let's have a look for Purvisar. Can it be a provisional pole time? It is not going to be. He set purple sector 1 and purple sector 3, but that second sector must have been shambolic. It is going to be Pratham taking pole, but due to that 5th place grid penalty, he will be sat in 6th place. And Vicky, the championship leader, sat in 6th. What has happened to him there? It is going to be Rahman taking pole here in Imola. Well, the charge of Rahman is still going to continue here in round 5. We are just about to enter our halfway stage of this season 6 and our first season on F1 23. With Ivy Whipple absent, this is opening the door for the Red Bull just to sort of chisel away at that championship league, and also he could even take the lead of the championship depending on what Vicky does in today's Grand Prix. Well, it is going to be technically Pratham taking pole, but due to the grid place penalty, it will be Rahman taking pole position for the Red Bull team. 2 poles in a row for Rahman and maybe another Grand Prix victory. Purvisar starts 2nd on the grid for Alfa Romeo, his best start of this season. Spandon and Sociopath lock out the 2nd row with Vicky, and it will be Pratham on the 3rd. A Ferrari 7-8 it will be, with Stricken and Mosquito rounding off the top 10, with BX Pro, Chartman and Scarito, who's found himself a bit higher in that championship due to a good race in Bahrain, sat in 13th place, but still a lot to play for, especially if the weather can make an impact. We are yet to have a wet race here in Casual Kia, but who knows, as it is Imola and it is Europe, so anything can happen. Let's see, what is the weather going to be? Is it going to be dry? Yes, it is. Well, the time before we get started, I'm not 100% sure if there is a formation lap or not. That is something I will quite check because I did mess up on it last week. Is it on Simulate? No, where is it? It will be on Rules and Flags. Is formation lap on or off? Okay, formation lap is off. So as soon as everyone has picked their tyres and their strategies, it will be racing from the get-go. There is a formation lap glitch on at the minute. I believe also there is a red flag glitch, as we are yet to enable that for Season 6 so far. But hopefully, in the next coming weeks, we are able to add red flags and formation laps back onto the proposed idea for racing F1 23. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights here in Imola. And it's lights out, and here we go racing. Rahman gets a better start than Purbazar. He gets snapped that rear end, spanned up into second place, but it is going to be the Red Bull leading us in through turn 1. The Alfa Romeos together as well, Spandard in second place with Purbazar satisfied. He's gone into the gravel. The gravel for Purbazar. He's going to get overtaken by a few cars here now. Pratham in 5th place ahead of Strickland. That is a shocking start for Purbazar. I believe we've had a DC of Danik, but if someone can invite him back to the session, but it seems that everyone got away cleanly apart from May, who will be able to find himself back up the grid. There is a spin, and that is from Pratham, and he's into the wall. What other cars are going to ask? They're going to be a VSC for the time being. Well, it looked like most drivers got away cleanly, but just a few stragglers at the back being caught up. Have a quick look at the tyre choices. Most people on the trusty medium, apart from Sharp on the hard, and May is currently on the soft tyre. Is there damage of the Williams? It does believe so. And there's going to be a few drive-through penalties. That is for BX Pro, and that is for Stricken as well. And we get green flag race again. Rahman picks up the fastest lap of the race. Spandon 8/10 back, are now under pressure from the Alpine. Nothing will be activated yet. DRS enabled on the next lap. Deggy Mosquito on the back of the Ghosted Ferrari. That is irrelevant. Pratham picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is a stupid 5 seconds to get. Spandon still attempting to following in this Red Bull, but has a bit of work to do, just a second back at the time being. Vicky is agonisingly close to the back of this Mercedes. Vicky, who did start down in 7th place, has got a bit of work to do now to catch up to Rahman, but that start has done him quite well. He's moved up 5 positions, and this move on to Spandon is going to come, and it's going to be quick. I'm not sure if we're going to be getting Danik brought back in the session, as he is just a reserve. So Tonga Prof can try and sort that out. That would be great. Vicky now following in this Mercedes. This is going to be attack mode for Vicky. He's going to have to make this move. He's going to have to make this move quick. I said track position is crucial here in Imola, but DRS is enabled. Purbazar picks up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Wonder if there are going to be team orders in Alfa Romeo to try and get Sociopath out the way and let Purbazar try and retake that 2nd place spot away from Spandon, but Spandon is out of the DRS zone from Rahman, and he's also got Vicky on his tail, along with 2 Alfa Romeos who are flying along this circuit. May has managed to catch up to the back of the pack as well. Stricken is a very far way back. I'm not sure how that's happened, but I'm almost certain we will be getting a safety car in this circuit. Probably not due to a driver collision, but to driver mistakes. This circuit punishes the mistakes of every single corner. And there we go, Vicky gets the better exit from Spanish. I said exits make the matter, And mistakes have cost Spandon that second place. He's now got Sociopath and Purbazar on his tail. Purbazar going to have to try and get past his teammate now. Let's see how Sociopath is going to treat this, because Purbazar is clearly the quicker driver. Not going to find a way through as of yet. Let's see what sort of attack Spandon can do back onto Vicky. There we go, Danikbot is now back in the session, so that connectivity issue shouldn't be present anymore. Sociopath has used his battery to try and get his teammate and himself along the pack. But now he kind of just needs Purbazar to get around. There's been a huge bit of contact on the front! That was Spandon trying to overtake Vicky. And that is Vicky dropping down the order. Down into Tamburello. I believe Spandon closed the door and he's gone wide. On the exit of Vilna, the Alfa Romeos have seen both cars just move out of their way. This now gives a great opportunity to both, or mainly to Purbazar, but both Sociopaths to try and finish on the podium and try and maybe take this race win away from Rahman, as Vicky is now down in 8th place. Incredible scenes. All right, Purbazar going wide on the exit of Outer, but he's going to get the DRS off his teammate, and this should be a simple move for the Alfa Romeo. The battery difference, and I just think the pace difference of the Alfa Romeo, Armenia of Purbazar, is just going to come in, and there we go, rear wing open for Purbazar. Stricken picks up a 3-second penalty, 2 tenths back, 1 tenth back, 1 car length behind Purbazar into 2nd place of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. He was now hunting down the Red Bull of Rahman, but Alfa Romeo running very strongly here in 2nd and 3rd, doing Ivy Whiffle proud. I think Rahman has got to be a little bit cautious, because he has got the dominant lead, but Purbazar is taking time out of him in every corner. I haven't seen Purbazar drive this quickly before. That gap is just dropping and dropping and dropping. Let's have a look at Scarito, who's on the back of Chartman. Chartman flashing on that hard tyre, running in now in 5th place. Gonna have to be a lot to do. Spandon picks up a 3-second penalty. He's currently sat in 4th place, but has got a big enough gap to Chartman, so that is going to be very lucky. 5 tenths back for the AlphaTauri. It will be full attack mode for Scarito. Oh, hello, Oscar. How are you? Oh, that is Stricken, who is out of the session, and that is out of Piratella, and I believe that's going to be our first safety car. Oh, no, it's not. Stricken has seen himself crashed out in Piratella. Scarito makes his move up into 5th. The DRS too effective for the AlphaTauri, and the Aston cannot defend it anymore. But how have we not got a safety car there? Stricken out of the session, which leaves 1 Red Bull standing. Vicky, who is currently sat in 7th, is starting to close that gap onto Chartman as well. I'm trying to keep focus on that. Oh, Danikbot is out of the session again. I can just quickly invite him. I'm not really sure what's happening there, but just to make it a bit easier for Tom. Oh, okay, Tom's gonna have to do it. I can't do it. But let's have a look at the gap at the front, because this gap is just dropping and dropping and dropping. He's pulled out 1.7 seconds on his teammate as well. Purbazar is a man possessed. Vicky right on the back of the Aston, following in now into the chicane. 1 corner, 2 corner, exit for the Alpine, slipstream into Ravazza. This should be simple making for the Alpine. He had a little bit of an incident in turn 1 with his good mate Spandon, but has to be a lot of work done to get that position back. Vicky has got the pace. He is the championship leader at the minute. Certainly sat in 7th place, but DRS rear wing slipstream is going to be enough to propel him up into 6th place. Hunt is on for Wicked Vicky as he proceeds to chase down onto Scarito. This gap is just dropping and dropping. There's been a position change as well. That is onto the ghosted car of Danikbot. The gap between Scarito and Spandon as well, I'm also noticing, is dropping. a tiny little bit. BX Pro picks up a 3-second penalty, and Pratham was also putting in some solid lap times on this hard tyre. He's had a bit of an awful start. I believe he had a spin on the exit of Tozer, but one safety car can change it all because he is showing very good time on this hard tyre. Rahman, dodgy, out of the exit of outer. 1 second is the gap for Purbazar. He's used his battery a little bit and he is full attack mode. Purbazar into the rear wing situation. Has he not got it? He does not have DRS. I was wrong. The activation point must be different. Both these drivers not using their battery. They know it's a long Grand Prix ahead of them. And I feel like this is going to be a slugfest all the way to lap 32. No threat of rain, it looks like, at the minute, but Purbazar has just been pumping in these lap times. Let's have a quick look at the fastest lap awards so far. Can you not see fastest lap anymore? There we go, here's Purbazar who holds on to that fastest lap. 6 tenths back. I think this move for Purbazar is going to be very simple. He's just gaining and gaining and gaining. Chartman on the back of Vicky. That Vicky has been closing the gap once again onto Scario. He has to make sure he makes these moves stick. The main issue about this circuit is when you do get into the chicanes, it can be tricky to hold those two cars going wide because one car will end up going onto the rumble strip. We've seen it in real F1, we've seen it in the game also. It is awkward to go side by side through the chicanes. That's why it's always best to try and dummy your driver, braking early or trying to get the better exit on the opposing driver. And there we go, it's so close for Purbazar. Rear wing enable, the battery is being pumped into the engines, but the Purbazar is not really gaining at all. They're going to go side by side in the chicane, or can Purbazar get this move before it? Into turn 1, Purbazar takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Rahman is out. Oh, he's almost lost it on the curve as well there. But Rahman, sat now in second, has got a mountain to climb to try and get back up to Purbazar, and he's gone super deep. That is not going to help the Red Bull. Purbazar already stretching this league. This is unreal pace from the Alfa Romeo. Where have we seen this all season? It is going to be the Alfa Romeo who's going to pull away from the Red Bull, and he's gone wide on the exit of Piratella. This has been a scruffy few corners for Rahman. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. That looks like BX Pro going onto the gravel on the exit of 18, which is Ravazza. DRS is not going to be available for the Red Bull. I think Rahman has to try something different. And there is a retiree in the pit lane, which is going to be BX Pro. .4 is the gap for the Red Bull. I mean, Purbazar is simply flying. He's pulling away so easily. I've never seen Purbazar do this in my life, but the one issue with Purbazar is he does have a mistake in him. And I'm hoping that mistake doesn't come today.
Okay, clear.
That gap is starting to come down a little bit. I think Purbazar may have had a few mistakes in those few flying corners. Rahman back into the DRS. What has happened to Purbazar on this lap? And Rahman somehow is back into the DRS. There's a yellow flag. That's going to be Vicky. What has happened to Wicked Vicky? He's just lost 3 seconds. And Purbazar in the pit lane. Does he have damage? He's come into the pit lane. He's going to put on another set of medium tyres. So it's going to be the 2-stop for the Alfa Romeo. He's going to take advantage of the lower numbers today. So So he's going to have a lot of free track to try and use out these tyres. This could probably be the better strategy. It depends how big of a gap he can pull, because all that Mercedes is going to come treacherously close. Is he going to get there in time? Yes, he is. Mosquito down the inside. Going to put a lot of pressure onto the Alfa Romeo, but couldn't make that stick. Ever so close. Danikbot overtakes his teammate who has gone into the pit lane. Now my question is, Rahman doesn't know that Parmesan is on the medium tyres, so is Rahman going to see this as a potential undercut and go and pit early? That is the one question I have in mind. Because Parmesan is going to opt in for the two-stop strategy. He's going to go double medium and soft. So he's going to be flying on that medium tyre, but I'm curious to whether Rahman thinks this is a undercut. Or is this just his genuine strategy? Let's have a look what he's doing. Okay, no worries, Johnny, no worries for that. But Rahman is not going to enter the pit lane as of yet. So Parmesan will definitely take the lead in this Grand Prix, but he will have to make the extra pit stop. It's all about how much time Parmesan can make. He's got a lot of free track ahead of him, almost 3 seconds worth of free track, and Charman on that hard tyre, it will not be that difficult to overtake, especially due to Parmesan's pace this weekend. I'm very curious to see how this race plans out now, especially if a safety car comes out, because that is not going to help Parmesan at all. It's a risky strategy, but I can see the logic. I can see the logic behind this strategy. He's going to be flying on that medium tyre. There's not a lot of battles going on at the minute. So have a quick look at Rob, and let's see how his lap pace is going compared to Ivy with Wall. So you cannot see directly what laps he's doing, but I will have a quick look at the end of this. What we can do, I can put on the leader gap into it. It is currently a 22 gap between Parmesan and Rahman. I would like to see maybe Sociopath as well. Try and maybe put a bit of a team game onto Rahman. That gap is going to start dropping out as almost 5/10 in a few corners. Rahman sticking on these tyres. He's going to go for the one stop, but it means Parmesan is going to have a lot to do. He's going to need a lot of things to go his way, and he's already pulled up to the back of Chartman. However, this is really going to help him. He's going to get the DRS. Well, the first car blocking Parmesan's way will be Chartman, but luckily it will be down the DRS straight. So not only is that going to give him the DRS, it's going to give him the fastest lap, and it's going to give him 5th place. 2 seconds drop for Parmesan. This is a very intriguing race now. It's not often you see drivers go for a 2-stop. Or did Parmesan just mess up and not select the hard tyre? That is the other question. That is Vicky picking up a 3-second penalty. But a lot of things have to be going through Rahman's head. We're all going to have a look at what sort of lap time Rahman is going to do here. Just coming out of the exit of Varianta Alta. Now coming into Ravazza. The gap is down to under 19 seconds. I'm very curious to see when Rahman is actually going to pit. Will it be on this lap? No, it's not. Permanent control, that could be huge. So it's going to be a 120.7 for the Red Bull. But that could be crucial for the Alfa Romeo. He picks up a 3-second penalty. Spans in the pit lane. He picks up a 5-second penalty. So Parmesan is lapping about 2.5 seconds quicker than his counterpart currently sat in first place. But now Parmesan is going to have to try and get past Vicky. This is not going to be an easy overtake. But he is so much quicker. And I think the overtake could come into Villeneuve. He's got a better exit, and he's going to put a bit of pressure onto Vicky. He's not going to make the move there. That is a smart thing to do for the Alfa Romeo. I always thought that I would say that was Vicky's fault, but there was no gap for Parmesan to actually go into there. So there is a bit of contact, but this time Parmesan does have the gap inside. And there was a little bit of a wheel touch into Piratella. Parmesan does get the move done. It's not pretty, but he gets the move done. It is not a pretty overtake. The gap down to 17.5 seconds. Does Rahman enter the pit lane? No, he's still going to continue to stay out. There is a position change. That is Scarito onto Dega Mosquito, but goes wide on the exit of Piratella, and that was not a pretty good rejoin from Scarito. Didn't see the Mercedes crawling up. Well, Pubzar has got a few more laps on these medium tyres to try and pump in these lap times. But it is an awkward strategy. Vicky enters the pit lane, I'm assuming he's going to go onto the hard tyre. Vicky is going to come out behind both Mercedes. Spandon trying to overtake his teammate, cannot do it at that corner, but you've got to be thinking Mosquito's got to get out of his way at some point soon. He's following in this Mercedes so easily. There we go, Dega Mosquito doing the smart thing, just letting his teammate by. Spandon on the fresh hard tyre is going to start looking to hunt down onto drivers like Scarito and onto Sociopath. Oh, the yellow flag! Oh no! I did say he has a mistake in him, and that is Pubzar in the wall. Oh, that is devastating. And he's got damage. The Alfa Romeo has got damage. And that is his charge over. The race win could have been on for Pubzar, but he has lost it. Oh, I'm gutted. I'm so gutted. Let's see, is he going to skate out on this time? There is still an opportunity to get some good valuable points here, but Inter Minerale on the exit has lost traction. Where is this going to come? But now this is all in Chartman's hands. In Rahman's hands, sorry. Sociopath, who is just fallen behind Scarito here. Scarito back on a podium position. That could be a bit of a, this could be a bit of an interesting battle now. Let's quickly go back onto the interval battles. Three cars here, gap of just a second, which is Scarito, Sociopath and Spandon all fighting for the final position on the podium. Pubzar has come out in 9th place, so he is on the hard tyre. A lot of work to do, but can definitely try and get back up to that top 5. That is realistically the goal for Pubzar. Pratham praying for a safety car. He's 14 laps into his hard tyre. But now this race win is essentially wrapped up for Rahman. That is a huge mistake from Pubzar on a track where he was dominating. The pace of the Alpha was too much to handle for everyone else, and he's just binned it. That gap is going to close up a little bit now. Scarito has started to make very small inroads. But this is a very, very boring race to watch. Probably one of the more boring races so far in the casual tier. This race, I think Rahman's just going to have this race win wrapped up. It's gifted, it's knotted, and it's perfectly wrapped. He's gone 17 laps onto his mediums. I'm assuming he's going to go for a one-stop. Sociopath right on the back of Chartman. I mean, Chartman's hard does not offer him a great amount of pace. Now Sociopath is going to try and move up into second place. I mean, Chartman is really struggling on that hard tyre. Spandon pins in a 3-second penalty. Sociopath gets ahead. Chartman into the pit lane from his podium position. I would also like to see maybe Vicky try and get involved in this battle. Well, for the minute, Sociopath saved from the fact he did get the DRS. I am curious to see whether Rahman is going to head into a pit. Now, I mean, realistically, So if this race needs to go any more in Ramon's way, a VSC would be perfect for the Red Bull.
See these tyres through to the end now.
But this has been just plain and simple for Ramon. He's going to take the lead on the championship. He did find an amazing form on the exit of F122. He did miss the opener in Spain, but in these past two races it has been nothing but dominant. Just like in real life, Red Bull just dominating in Italy. It's not meant to happen. We don't like to see it happen, but nothing we can do about this excellence. I mean, the only worry is that the pits of Ramon. I want to see how long is the Imola pit. That could maybe mean that he falls into this sort of battle, but I think he'll be able to find a bit or get out of it pretty simple. 30-second stop. 34 seconds. Oh, so that does change a few things. Well, I think Ramon has got the pace anyway to do this. I thought it was about 30 seconds, so Sociopath has taken the net lead of this Grand Prix. So, you know, that does change things. Because he is starting to gain onto Ramon. I think Ramon is going to source Shea. So it has to be right then. So I'm very curious to see when Ramon is going to pit. He is losing lap time, and he's losing it very quickly. The only drivers yet to pit are himself and Pratham, sat in 6th place. And oh, that's a huge snap at the exit of, that was Minerali. Ramon is still not going to pit. This is really confusing me, because Sociopath is showing some good pace on this hard tyre. Hasn't really got the battery to work with. Herbazar picks up another 3-second penalty. But that does change things. When Ramon does decide to pit, he's going to be, 24.5, 25. He could come out behind Vicky, depending on what Vicky's pace is like now until he stops. He's going to have to fight in a few good lap times to ensure he definitely does finish there. But it could be 6th place. There's going to be the pit stop of Pratham is going to come in now. He's going to probably whack on the medium tyres and burn them out to the end. He's going to have some unreal pace. Pratham unlucky to not take pole in this Grand Prix, but I think a qualifying incident where May have lost his car and not ghosted. He's also going to serve that 5-second penalty. It is just unlucky for Pratham. He has shown some excellent pace so far. He's going to go into the soft tyre for the last 12 laps of this race. He's also going to try and take away that fastest lap away as well, but obviously Ron will be able to bolt on the soft tyre when he does decide to come into the pit lane. And that pit time is now. Let's see, 21.8 so far for Sociopath. They're going to all be fighting over each other at the Red Bull. He's going to go into the soft tyre. I'm not sure if this exit is 34 seconds. I'm really not sure. Let's have a quick look. Sociopath. Yeah, this pit is definitely not 34 seconds. It can't be. Gets through. So does Scarito and Vicky. Has Ramon actually been able to unleash a throttle? Yes, he has. Vicky is going to close up, but nowhere near enough. That was not a 34-second pit stop. That was about 28. Vicky is still very much in control of this Grand Prix. Soft tyres, and he's only got 2 cars to overtake, but it's for now Sociopath who takes the lead in Imola. But Ramon, fresh softs are going to be brutal now. And Shea has lied. Herbazar now hunting down onto Chartman. Obviously there will be no DRS for quite some time. I'm just looking at that gap for Ramon. It is just dropping and dropping and dropping. Sociopath has got a little bit of a gap from Spandon, but I don't think this gap is going to be big enough to withstand the attack that Ramon's about to do. I want to say they fixed the audio clips as well, which is a nice thing for me. one thing which is going to save Scarito is that his rear wing has been enabled, so he is going to pull away a little bit from the Red Bull. Nothing that the fresh softs can do about a rear wing advantage, or a DRS advantage is probably the right way to put it. There are 10 laps to go, or 10 and a half laps to go. Deadly Mosquito gets past Purbazar, but Purbazar is maybe going to get the DRS back down through the straight. And Purbazar's going to head into the pit lane. Does he have damage, or is he going to retire? I believe he is retired in the pit lane, I'm not really sure. Scarito right on the back of Spandon, fastest lap of the race, does go to the Williams. God, this is going to be so close for Rahman. He's going to get the run onto Scarito. 3-second penalty to Vicky. Rahman breaks latest, and he makes the move. That was a superb move from Rahman. Going through outer, and then he's just going to fly past Spandon. That's easy. Does Spandon get DRS? I don't think he will. And even if he did get DRS, it's not going to be enough. And Rahman, after overtaking 2 cars, he's going to get the DRS. That is how you do it. 3.2 second gap for the Red Bull. This is going to be a very fast overtake, I believe. Sociopath is doing well. He's still holding on to the lead, but Rahman is coming, and he is coming quickly. The only thing that could save Sociopath is that Rahman's softs will not be in a good state in 5 or 6, 7 laps time, but I don't think it's really going to matter. Coming down into Minerali. This is some superb pace. Whoa. Well, anyway, would it be a realistic stream if it was going to have a random scan? Go on, give it to me. What I also do, I will just call you the helmet of the day. However, a lot of these drivers go for the boring helmet. This is going to be Rahman's 6th consecutive podium in Tier 2. Oh, really? Well, in races he attended, obviously. My helmet of the day probably goes to Sociopath. I quite like that, actually. It's like a Zeus sort of vibe. Yeah, and there we go, the position change has happened. That was Scarito overtaking Spandon. 2 last races, season 5 and previous in all of season 6. I mean, Rahman has shown superb pace, and he is now onto the back of Sociopath. That 3-second gap reduced to just 4 tenths in 2 laps. And was there another rear-end touch then from Rahman? Could this move come? Going into the chicane? No, it will not. Vicky now picks up another 3-second penalty as well. Through outer, the traction is unreal! Rahman takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Sociopath, I'm not sure if he'd let Rahman by, but that traction, and he's onto the gravel! That is how you take a lead, and that is how you hold it. Rahman is the new leader, and the original leader of the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 1.3 seconds in the gap, he's got the pressure ties, he's got the lead of the Grand Prix. Simple for Rahman. That was some unreal traction from the Red Bull. Spandon gets back past Scarito. This could be a slugfest all the way down. However, there are a lot of penalties. 11 seconds for Spandon, that is a 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. And then 2-3 seconds. And we have Vicky, who's only got a few penalties, to say the least. That is going to be 12 track violations. So I think the podium is going to go to Scarito so far. May also could be in for a look of 5th place, so he can just get that gap down a couple of tenths. Scarito is going to fall behind Vicky, but all that Scarito has to do is stay penalty free. Purbazar picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is him going to be retired from the session. Sociopath has closed that gap down a little bit, but he's going to have a lot to do to keep up with Ramen through Ravazza. The soft tyre is unreal through those corners. He is going to have the rear wing enabled, but he's nowhere near far enough, or close enough, sorry, to actually make a real threat into turn 1. Or am I just completely contradicting myself? Sociopath! Oh, I feel like he should have made that move. It would have been a pretty silly move, but I think you need to try and put a bit more pressure on Ramen if you want to try and win this Grand Prix. Well, this is the closest gap we've got so far. Oh, what has happened to Spandon? What on earth has happened to Spandon? I want to say he's maybe gone into the gravel on the exit of 18. There is a position change that is taking Mosquito getting past onto Chartman. Obviously those penalties are going to come his way. Sociopath, I will give him a bit of credit, he's not falling back from Ramen here. He has a little bit, but I mean if he can just stay at this sort of gap, that soft tyre will start to degrade. And he's still got another 7 laps to go. The main thing Sociopath has to do is stay in that DRS. Because that is going to gain him at least 7 tenths a lap, or maybe over, say 5 tenths a lap. Could he be close enough to make a move into turn 1? He's going to close up once again. There's not enough for the Alfa Romeo. 4 tenths is still the gap. But both these drivers are giving it everything they have. Not running very high on their battery levels. That was a very wide corner from Sociopath. That is going to lose him a bit of time. He has to try and stay in this DRS zone to just keep it dragging him along this circuit, and he has to pray for either a penalty, a mistake, or that those soft tyres can drop off. But he is out of the DRS once again. The gap once again just it does close down a little bit. And Ramen is lost once again out onto Sociopath with the DRS. There are a few laps to go now. Sociopath will get the rear wing open once again. So he is going to try and close that gap down a little bit. But obviously it will not be nowhere near enough to pull him alongside the Red Bull and try and fight into turn 1. But I'm very surprised Sociopath is even hanging this close.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Once again, Sociopath has dropped out of the DRS, and there's going to be a yellow flag, and that is Pratham. That is a few cars involved. That is Pratham and Chartman, who have not given us our first VSC or safety car of the day. That is some contact. Unfortunate to see, but back to the league at the front. This is going to be a close finish, but I do not think Sociopath has enough here. I really don't. He is going to close in once again, but he's going to have to hope for a mistake up front. But there is just 3.5 laps to go. The gap is at 6 tenths. Ramen handled the Villeneuve curve or corner perfectly. And Sociopath is once again out of the DRS. Ramen knows he is under a bit of pressure, but I think that tyre advantage will just manage to see him out into the end. He does lose a lot of time in that second sector. Those tyres must not be nice to drive on, I must admit. Eight tenths is gap. This is a bit closer for Sociopath on this occasion. Still at 7 tenths. Yeah, he has gone a little bit closer than on previous laps. Rear wing enabled for the Alfa Romeo, and now he's back down to 8.5. But this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge now onto Rahman, because those softs aren't really showing a lot of pace anymore. 4 tenths is the gap. Sociopath is going to have to push like a madman to make sure he can try and get a win this Grand Prix. So look at this move for Scarito. He's going to have the DRS, and why is he not using his DRS? Why is Scarito not using his DRS? What is he doing? What on earth is he doing? I understand you know he has penalties, but you can still make the overtake. Well, I'm bamboozled watching this. I think Vicky is trying some attempts of mind games here onto Scarito. I think Vicky knows this is a lost fight, and what has this gap come down to? Well, 2 laps of racing go, and the gap is 4.5 tenths. Sociopath is going to have to stick this out through Ravazza, but he is now in a real shot of holding on to this. Scarito picked up a 3-second penalty, but it will not matter at all. I mean, Vicky has got almost 12 seconds. This is a serious threat onto Romeo on lap 31 out of 32. Rear wing enabled for the Alfa Romeo. This is the closest he has been since he was overtaken on lap 24. He's going to gain. He's going to be a bit of a move into turn 1. Sociopath on the inside. Bit of contact onto Rahman. He's went over the rumble strip. But that was a huge scare onto both drivers. Rahman is under so much pressure. The pace of the softs have gone off completely. Now the hard tyres are the prime tyres to be on. Well, this is going to be once again another last lap scrap for the battle for the win of the Grand Prix. We've had this in 4 of 5 races this season, where both drivers are going to be scrapping out all the way. Rahman is under so much pressure. It's going to be an incredible fight now to the line. Coming through Varianta Outer. What is Sociopath's exit like? It's not as good as Rahman's, but he is still close enough to benefit from the slipstream and from the DRS once again. We are coming up now onto lap 32 out of 32. It is the final lap of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Rear wing enabled for Sociopath. What can Rahman do? He's going to see the Alfa Romeo in his wing mirrors. He's going to have to keep on checking them, because Sociopath is on his right hand side, and Sociopath is ahead on the final lap of the Grand Prix. And there we go, the move for Sociopath of Cave on the final lap. Let's see, can Rahman fight back at all, but he's all taken. 8 laps and Rahman's gone super deep onto Villeneuve. Sociopath is now leading the Grand Prix with the advantage of the tyres. Rahman in no position to fight. Rahman has control of his tyres, but he seems to have a massive drop off in pace, and look at the gap! The gap is just dropping and dropping and dropping. Rahman has a little bit of a struggle on the exit of Varianta, or Acqua Minerale, sorry, now into Varianta Outer. And Sociopath will handle that like a pro. This could go the Alfa Romeo's way. Rahman is not going to win 2 races in a row. He took pole, he was in control of the Grand Prix. He was lucky Perbazar was not there as a threat. But Sociopath, he comes around the final corner of Ravazza. It is not Rahman, it is the Alfa Romeo of Sociopath who wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Rahman who finishes in an agonising 2nd place. Scarito is going to hold on for that podium. The AlphaTauri holding onto that position. A brilliant job from him today. But what a great fight back from Sociopath. What a fight back. AlphaTauri have Scarito in third place. Spandon is going to pick up another 5 seconds, but I think that is a fake 5 seconds. Vicky, who is out of fuel, is going to get overtaken by May, who is also out of fuel. That is going to be Vicky of May in 5th, Vicky in 6th. I think that's May's best finish of the season. Deadly Mosquito is going to come across the line. That's going to be 7th. That is going to be Vicky. Oh, that is, never mind, it is over the finish line. Cratham, unfortunate 7th place for him. Sharpman is going to come home in 9th. Is Vicky actually DNF on the line? I would believe so. But that was an incredible fight back from Sociopath, who wins the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Well, he has done Ivy Whiffle proud. He was not here today, and nor he was last week, but he's reserved in for the Alfa Romeo team, and he has won it in Imola. Rahman comes home in an agonising 2nd place. He had that race in his hands. Scarito level up on his best finish of the season in 3rd place. A very solid result from him. Let's go through the race classification. It's going to be Sociopath, the reserve, taking all points in the bag for the Alfa Romeo team. Rahman in 2nd place. He does take the lead of the championship. Scarito in 3rd place picks up that podium. Spandon in 4th. It was May in 5th. It was Mosquito and Pratham rounding off 6th and 7th. Chartman in 8th. Vicky in 9th. And Danik Bot in 10th. Place, who finished off the points. Go on, anyway, what's happened? I'm not ending the stream because I see what Will Anyway wants to say. Yeah, apparently he did. I'm not sure. He may have crashed on the line, but he didn't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, it shows his timing to leader. No, I think he crashed, but it was after the finish line. That has been the Global Racing League in the casual tier. This was round 5 in Imola, which was won by the Alfa Romeo of Sociopath. We will be live once again in just over 40 minutes time, which will be the advanced tier, which is going to be done by F1ology. So thank you all for tuning in, and goodbye.
Join me in 45 minutes as I race the same track with Division 1 Global Racing League.
So we've got another virtual. Then here, as we're trying to